But first today, 1 in 10 West Australians struggled to pay their power bill last year. The information from the Economic Regulation Authority also shows the number of people who had their power disconnected doubled. And stats like that make it clear times are getting pretty tough for an increasing number of you. So who do you turn to if you need help to get through financial problems? ABC Perth reporter Anthony Stewart has gone out in search of expert advice. Where do we find you this afternoon, Anthony?
Well, I've come here to a pretty standard office building in Joondalup, but I'm here to kind of take you through the steps that would be involved in getting some financial counselling. If you've got in trouble, who do you turn to for help? Where do you get your advice? So I've come here to Anglicare, and with me is Hadasha Crossley, one of the financial counsellors. How many people struggle to pay their bills, and is it a sign of what sort of trouble people are in? Are you seeing more people in financial stress at the moment?
Yeah, we're certainly seeing a lot of clients coming in struggling with utility bills. The majority of our clients who come in do struggle with their electricity, gas or water. That is definitely true.
And what sort of leads to that point where you can't pay your power bill? What are some of the things that lead to those sort of problems?
It could happen to anyone. A change in circumstances, a life event could lead to you struggling with your bills. It could be anything from losing your job, getting redundancy, disability, or a change in your family situation.
And does that leave you without the income that you once had, and is that the big cause of these sort of stresses?
Absolutely, particularly in this economic climate. Just any change to your financial status would certainly push you over or struggling to pay your bills.
I think when people imagine someone who can't afford to pay their power bill, they're thinking of someone who is already in might be seeking out the services. But the experience here is quite different. There's lots of people who've never asked for financial help before they arrive through your door.
Absolutely. We can see anyone who's highly educated or who's got some form of income, but due to whatever situation or life circumstance, they find themselves unable to pay their bills. We can also see clients who have also long-term struggled, or they may be on low income or underemployed, where they're just not able to stay on top of their finances or their bills.
Is financial stress a little bit invisible? Do you think that people can cover it up for longer and don't seek help?
Absolutely. There seems to be a bit of a stigma around financial stress, particularly it's almost like a mental health condition, like you don't want to talk to your family or friends or let it be known that you're struggling to pay your bills, which is a basic essential service. So it's certainly out there that you don't want to approach or get help.
What is the first step? If there's someone out there listening who thinks they might want to take the first step, what should they do?
The first step is to they can actually go through the financial counselling helpline, or they can Google financial counselling Western Australia, where they can search for their local financial counselling service. They should have local financial counselling service in the area, and then once they approach that service, then they can make an appointment for a face-to-face appointment. So where we would go through the financial counselling.
What are the steps that you would go through if you were trying to help someone sort out their finances? What are the practical things that if you're listening at home you might consider doing yourself?
Certainly getting an idea of where your financial situation is at. So contacting your lenders, completing a budget, do a real stocks take of your financial situation. And then approach a financial counsellor, or if you're not able to contact the bank yourself or the utility provider, or you can self-advocate for yourself by contacting your utility provider for financial hardship assistance, or make sure that you've got all your concessions and rebates, and then contact your banks and lenders just to discuss with them their financial hardship policies.
What are some of the outcomes you see for people who come into your office?
A whole range. It really depends on the client's situation. We can have, if they're unemployed and they're unlikely to resume employment, we could look at debt waivers or debt reduction. We can also look at a long-term payment plans, or on the other spectrum, we can have a look at temporary financial hardship, so reducing or suspending repayments to creditors. We can also look at rebates and grants from the government that would be available. So we look at all that for them.
When someone walks out of your office, do you think they have a big sense of relief? Is that one of the most tangible results that you see straight away?
Absolutely. Yeah, and even a burden off their shoulders. They certainly do provide that feedback, which is fantastic.
So there you go, Gillo. There's a few of the steps you can take to get the debt off your back and maybe help yourself deal with those big bills that might be coming through at the moment.
Yeah, and Anthony, it sounds, and Hadassah, it sounds as though front-footing it as soon as you possibly can is really important.
Absolutely. So getting the help that you need as early as possible, or contacting your banks and lenders.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time. Hadassah Crossley, Financial Counsellor with Anglicare, and Anthony Stewart, ABC reporter, 13 minutes past 2 o'clock.